Good morning. My name is Isabel and I worship at Holy Trinity Church in Formby. This morning I have a reading for you from the book of 1 Samuel. It's Hannah's prayer, and this prayer is what she prays when, after many years of infertility, she has borne a child, Samuel, and she brings him to the temple to consecrate his life to God. Then Hannah prayed and said, "My heart rejoices in the Lord. In the Lord my horn is lifted high. My mouth boasts over my enemies, for I delight in your deliverance. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Do not keep talking so proudly, or let your mouth speak such arrogance, for the Lord is a God who knows, and by him deeds are weighed. The bows of the warriors are broken, but those who stumbled are armed with strength. Those who were full hire themselves out for food, but those who were hungry hunger no more. She who was barren has borne 7 children, but she who has had many sons pines away. The Lord brings death and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and raises up. The Lord sends poverty and wealth. He humbles and he exalts. He raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the ash heap. He seats them with princes and has them inherit a throne of honour. For the foundations of the earth are the Lord's. Upon them he has set the world. He will guard the feet of his saints, but the wicked will be silenced in darkness. It is not by strength that one prevails. Those who oppose the Lord will be shattered. He will thunder against them from heaven. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed." This is the word of the Lord and the prayer that was spoken by Hannah. I have met some remarkable women through these reflections. I'd never really spent any time with Hannah before. But that is just an amazing poem, don't you think? It's full of power. It's full of challenge. Here is Hannah. Her life has been made a misery because of her infertility. She's been mocked by her husband's other wife. Her position in society is of the lowest. Though her husband loves her, she has little other consolation. But Hannah had dared to go to the temple, and she had poured out her soul to the Lord. And then she had dared to defend herself to the priest, who thought that she was drunk. Her faith is rewarded, and she bears a son. But she had made a hard promise, and when her son is still very small, she brings him to the temple to leave him there and dedicate his life to God. She really is one tough cookie. And she follows through. There is no hint of self-pity. There's no hint of weakness in her prayer. It's hard-hitting. It's militant. These are the words of a woman who has experienced God's power in her life. And she knows that his power will prevail in the world. I'm sure that what she saw around her had much more to do with poverty. I'm sure she was no stranger to weakness. We know that she was barren. but she knows God's power, and that's what she speaks of. This confidence, this militance, that's something for us to hang on to. I'm going to leave you with an extract from a poem by Richard Moore. In a world that offers reasons to despair, in a time of confusion and fear, we turn our hearts to you, O God, our strength and our Redeemer. In our world, power seems distant and remote, and the interests of the weak are often overlooked. Certainly, it seems one person or one small church can't make a difference, can't right all the wrongs we see around us. And yet you have called us out into the world to give an account of our faith. Called us into the streets to proclaim your mercies and announce your kingdom. Called us into relationships to heal what is broken and restore hope to the hopeless. Called us to speak your gospel and live your good news, to bring justice to a world that needs to believe. Called us your friends, the beloved of God. Lord, give us Hannah's faith and her refusal to compromise. Thank you for sharing this reflection with me. Until we meet again.